Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our Friday Live. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me move my questions and comments off to the side there, and thank you so much. Let me begin by just welcoming all of our newest Internet Mastery members to our community. At whatever level you are at, you are now in the right place at the right time, about to do the right thing. And for everybody, a collective Internet Mastery community, I just want to let you know that we are still on target. Our goal is the same, as I mentioned a few weeks ago in Miami, to double in 2024. I'm hoping that many of you have had a chance to watch the short little Miami recap video, the inspirational video that DuPont filmed, edited, and put together in just such an awesome way to capture the enthusiasm and excitement of what happened at InternetMastery.live in Miami back just in, I guess about 6 weeks ago now, in February. So that is just a little taste, if you weren't there in person, just a little piece of what it's like to be together at an event like that. A couple of just quick updates for you. The first one is maybe the most important thing to understand that's happened to Amazon sellers in quite a long time in regards to your inbound placement fees being sent to Amazon. I know that I filmed a video on this. I know that many of you have watched that video, but I really want to spend a few minutes talking with you about what's happening. So every day I'm reading about the horrors and the experiences that people are having when it comes to sending items on their own to Amazon for fulfillment. I mean, it's rampant, and it's unfortunate that Amazon has made these choices. In the newsletter that's going to be coming out a little bit later today, I'm going to be talking more about these fees and how they impact sellers and really just the ramifications of it. Some of the other fees that Amazon changed as well in terms of storage fees, long-term storage fees, shortfall of inventory fees. I mean, Amazon really has gone to town in terms of making some of these changes. And what I want you to understand is that when we started our prep center in 2016 now, so we've had the prep center for 8 years, the original concept behind the prep center was to be able to help our Canadian students. Back then, about half of everyone that came into our community was from Canada. We spent a lot of time doing in-person events in Canada from 2016 until February of 2020. And if you live in Canada and you want to sell in the US, the only real way to do that properly, to scale properly, is to have your items start in the US and end at an Amazon fulfillment center in the US to avoid cross-border shipping back and forth. Now, I know there are some workarounds, and some of our amazing Canadian students have figured things out on their own in that way. But the reality is that was the purpose of the prep center. The prep center was designed to help people, let's just say, outside of the US to be able to buy and sell inside of the US and take advantage of the .com market. At that time, I had a conversation with some people and said that I only wanted it to be available to Canadians. I thought, why does anyone in the US need this service to begin with when they could just send the items to their house and then forward them to Amazon themselves? I wasn't really thinking about the big picture and the big potential of the prep center concept. We also had a very, I want to call it simplistic 1.0 version of the prep center technology. It was bad. I mean, it was not, let me just say, it wasn't good. I don't know how else to explain it. It was confusing. It was cumbersome. It wasn't automated. You had to upload all your labels manually and email them in and wait and go back and forth. I mean, it was kind of like a train wreck, if you will. And so I wasn't part of that process. We had a company we worked with that did a great job for us, and we outsourced that service of the prep center. They helped to create it with us and do that service for us because I was on the road 300 days a year. And when the pandemic happened and we brought everything in-house and didn't outsource that part of the business anymore, we really invested a considerable amount of money. Now we're up to close to about $700,000 in investments in the technology associated with how the prep center works and making it as simplistic as possible. Just giving you a little history, because those of you that have started in the last year and a half would never have experienced that original version of the prep center. And it was, anyway, I'm glad that we have moved forward and made that happen. And so when we created the Prep Center, and then we moved into Prep Center 2.0, and all this time, my whole focus has been to allow our students, our community members, to create financial freedom. And so you understand my version, everybody's version is a little bit different, but my version of financial freedom is to be able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, as often as humanly possible. That's my version of freedom. Everybody's version of freedom is a little bit different. And so I share that with you because that, for me, that concept of the Prep Center, where you can be anywhere and do anything and not have to be at home, not have to receive boxes, not have to prep, not have to do any of that, creates that financial freedom. Now, I get it. Some people love to prep their items. I understand that. There was a period of time where I really enjoyed prepping my items too. Some days I'll go into the prep center, not that much anymore, but some days I'll go into the prep center and I'll prep some stuff. It's kind of fun to do. But what I want you to recognize is that there's lots of ways that Amazon sellers outside of Internet Mastery, and even in our community, have decided to grow their business. Some people just rent a warehouse, hire employees, buy all the materials, and do it themselves. And I guess they have their own built-in prep center, and that's fine. If you don't mind managing employees and having that overhead, then of course that's your best option for you. Some people want to do the work in their home and prep their items at their house, and they've got time and they've got space and they've got availability and they enjoy doing it. That's no way to really scale a business, but that might be just their passion. When I talk about success, I want you to understand that everybody's version of success is different and everybody needs different things. So for example, that we have some Internet Mastery community members that if you can make an extra $1,000 a month in profit, that would literally change your life. We have other people that if you're not making $1,000 a day in profit, then it's almost not worth your time, right? Everybody has their own goals and everybody has their own objectives, and everybody will go at their own pace to achieve all of that. And the concept of the Prep Center was really, over the last several years, about creating that freedom for you so that when you're away, when you're traveling, when you're with your family, when it's a holiday, you don't have to worry about those things coming to your home. And I do think that is a massive value add in that process. But at the same time, what's happening now, as of March 1st, so here we are now just a couple of weeks in, as of March 1st, Amazon completely changed everything. I mean, radically. They didn't just change their fee structure. They changed everything. And what's happening is that now when you create a shipping plan at home on Amazon, and you don't have to be at home, obviously, you could be anywhere, but you're creating that shipping plan on Amazon. I've heard of some people having their plans shipped to 10 locations. I've heard of some people that were paying $500 for inbound shipping. I mean, we're talking about lots of items. $500 for inbound shipping as of February of 2024, that now in March of 2024, costs $3,000 to inbound. Now, obviously, the workaround is very simple. Just raise your price accordingly, and you'll be able to stay profitable. However, it's still causing chaos. The amount of work that needs to be done, the amount of materials that you now need. Instead of needing one box, you need 4 boxes. And here's the thing, it's all random. So sometimes you'll get 1 plan, sometimes you'll get 4 plans, sometimes you'll get 8 plans. Every time you send it to multiple locations, your inbound location fee or service fees might be down, but your additional shipping and materials and work that goes into splitting those plans goes way up. And so I think it's very important to understand that this doesn't impact just Internet Mastery. This impacts all sellers in the United States. Now, this is coming to Canada. It's coming to the UK. It's coming to all Amazon whatever, all around the world, all Amazon countries where there's an Amazon warehouse. And the basic premise is that in the past, we could send everything to one location and it would just be Amazon receiving it and then splitting it out to multiple locations across the board. Well, guess what? Amazon didn't charge us for that movement. If you have to understand what Amazon wants. Amazon cares about one thing and one thing only. That's the buyer. Amazon doesn't care for its sellers the way they should. They care for the buyer, the prime buyers, the 130 million people that Amazon wants to be able to deliver instantly. So what's happening is that Amazon is doing 2 things. Number one, we'll get to this in just a few minutes, but number one, if you don't send in enough inventory, if your inventory runs out too fast, Amazon is going to penalize you. And number 2, Amazon wants the products that you send in split to where they know they need that inventory to be able to deliver same day or next day. So instead of you sending it all to one location and Amazon moving it, Amazon either A, wants you to send it to multiple locations where they need it, or they're going to charge you to send it to one location and then move it for you. In either case, you pay. And the amount that you pay goes up significantly. Now, this is not me, just so everybody understands. The prep center is packed. The prep center is as busy as it's ever been, and the prep center continues to grow. So sometimes I get some people who say, oh, you're just doing this to promote the prep center. Okay, but that's not accurate. And that just comes from a place of not understanding truly what's happening in the world of Amazon. And so I need you to understand that this is completely your business. For all of our Internet Mastery community, we are here to provide you with the service if you choose to use it. Anyone who wants to prep on their own, do it on their own, we love you a lot. Either way, we don't love you any more or love you any less if you use the Prep Center. We love all of you equally. We're equal opportunity lovers, right? Whatever that, I don't know if that sounded right, but you get the point. So what I want you to understand is I'm not sharing this with you so you'll use the Prep Center more. I'm sharing this information with you so you will make more money. Remember that it's not what you make, it's what you keep that matters. And so if you are having to raise your price like everyone else to offset your additional fees, that just means that you're going to make the same, but the customer is going to pay more. Well, as we know, Amazon loves when people provide their products for less money. So Amazon is going to feature those sellers in the buy box and the featured offers who have the most competitive price. So let's say 10 of you are doing all the inbound shipping yourself, and you are competing against all of the sellers on Amazon who ship everything in themselves. Well, everyone raises their price. But the thing that I want you to understand is that for me, as the owner of Internet Mastery and the owner of the Prep Center, I'm changing my entire thinking about the benefit of the Prep Center. The Prep Center provides a great service of you not having to do the work yourself. I get that. But that's not the benefit anymore. We have been working for almost 3 months on our Prep Center technology, working on the back end. You see, when Amazon makes these changes, they don't just change it on March 1st and tell everyone they've changed it on March 1st. They told everyone in December that it was changing. By the way, one other big piece of this that I need you to understand is that Amazon is very clear in their text, in all their communication, that says that these inbound placement fees are not the final fees. They reserve the right to give you the final cost up to 45 days after they receive the inventory. So Amazon, from what the rumors are, has the potential to incrementally increase the amount of fees that they're charging when you buy your shipping plans through Amazon's normal FBA from Seller Central process. So what we've been doing is when we found out that this was happening, we started working on our back-end technology that we utilize in the Prep Center. Prep Center seems so simple. It is for your side, but for our side, the technology is incredibly complex. So I've been working with the team and saying, okay, look, this is what's coming here. These are the fees we need to calculate. This is what we need to adjust. And so what I want you to understand is that when you're utilizing SpyRivals or SpyRivals X, and it gives you the net profit, we estimate the inbound shipping fees per unit to Amazon. We factor that in when we determine the profitability. That is only true today if you're using the Prep Center. If you're doing the shipping on your own from your own Amazon account, there is no way for us to calculate your shipping. Number one, because Amazon has changed all of that. Number two, and even more importantly, because it is specific to you and where you are, and Amazon may adjust those fees in 45 days. So what we've done is we've created this infrastructure within the Prep Center community that will literally save you between 30 and 40% of your inbound shipping fees to Amazon. In fact, Amazon on April 1st is further reducing their per unit fees. They're actually not increasing, they're reducing their fees that they charge when an item sells by approximately 21 cents per unit. And so when you factor in the savings that the Prep Center provides, along with Amazon's adjustment on April 1st, we expect the fees to inbound or ship items to Amazon to be less than they were before the change. Now, when you send 5, 10, 15 video games into the Prep Center, just using video games as an option, you send these into the Prep Center. There are no, unless there's some random thing at play, there are no inbound service fees that the Prep Center, well, that you'll be charged because you're going through the Prep Center technology. And so the inbound shipping will go to one location and have no inbound placement fees. We did the event in Las Vegas, Internet Mastery, one-day event in Las Vegas last week. And across the board, we had 20 people, created plans. We compared the Prep Center fees with we compared the inbound shipping with placement fees from your Amazon seller account and then through the Prep Center. 30 to 40% savings. So at the end of the day, I want you to think about how big you want to build this business. What do you want from it? See, I know what I want, but what do you want? Do you want to be a $1,000 a month seller? Do you want to be a $5,000 a month seller? Do you want to be a $100,000 a month seller? Do you want to be a $1 million a month seller? However long it takes you to get there, you get there. If you don't quit, you'll get there, whether it takes 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, or 10 years. The only way you don't get there is if you quit. And unfortunately, we have people in life that quit. And that's their business. That's their life. That's how they choose to live. But for those of you that really want to achieve high levels of success, understand what comes along with that. The shipment, the prep and the shipment to Amazon of thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of packages that go to Amazon. I know this because I see it on the leaderboard. You can look on the leaderboard. On the left-hand side are sales. On the right-hand side are numbers of units. Every one of those units now that gets sent to Amazon from a plan you create in your Amazon account will result in inbound placement fees or an increase in the total cost of getting that item to Amazon at a rate on average of an increase of about 30 cents. So if you're sending in 10,000 items, you do the math. If you're sending in 50,000 items, you do the math. And what does 30 to 40% do to you? What does that do to your income? Well, number one, it means you have way less out of pocket, which means you have a net effect of a positive result. This is not about me wanting you to use the prep center. We get the same amount of results. We get paid the same, whether you save your money or don't save your money. If you use the prep center, great. If you don't use the prep center, you will not hurt my feelings. But my responsibility is to help you make as much money as possible. And you make as much money as possible by saving on all that shipping that Amazon has in place. So again, if you understand the flow, then you understand where the money can go. Now, here's another thing you can think about. You have two options here. Let's say that, we're selling an item for $25 and it costs you an extra $1 to, here, let me see if I can show you this. Okay, so let's just say for a moment that you are selling an item for $25, okay? And your inbound shipping fees go up $1. So we have a +1 on shipping fees to Amazon, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to sell this item for $26 so that we can make roughly the same profit. It's not exactly the same because if you increase it $1, you're still going to pay Amazon 20-30% in fees, so you actually have to raise it about $1.25, but for this example, we'll just keep the math the way it is. So everyone on Amazon that experiences this is going to have to raise their price in order for them to be competitive and make the same profit. So you have a choice when you're utilizing the prep center. Your cost doesn't go up $1. Your cost maybe goes up 30 cents. So the question is, are you watch this, are you going to raise your price and be competitive with everyone else, which increases your profit, or are you going to keep your price the same and then make all the sales because you have the lowest price, because you don't have to raise your price to get where everyone else does to maintain the same profitability? So you can experiment and figure out which one of those things matters. The other thing that's happening is that when you utilize the repricer the right way, and there's still so many of you that have the repricer that are not using it right, and we'll get into another session on the repricer. But when you use the repricer properly, and you combine that with not having the additional fees on the inbound placement, the prices are going to move even faster now. And you need to make sure that your in the right game. So again, I love the Prep Center for the ease of use. I always have, for the flexibility and for the freedom. But the amount of money that the people utilizing, and I'm telling you, when we did this comparison live in person, the takeaways from the people in the room was like their jaw hitting the floor. So if you understand what's happening and the value that the Prep Center brings, and then you understand that there's no one else who sells on Amazon that has this opportunity other than people in Internet Mastery, because we built this technology. It's proprietary. It's got AI in it. It's got this algorithmic learning in it, and it's all based on Amazon's API and backend. So it's extraordinary. And again, use it, don't use it. We love you either way. I'm not here to sell you on using the Prep Center. I am here to sell you on how you can make more money, and you make more money by saving money. So if it makes sense, then use the Prep Center. If it doesn't make sense, don't use the Prep Center. But if you are new, you won't know the difference. You won't have anything to compare it to. But if you've been on Amazon for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 months, a year or more, you're going to see your plans split. You're going to see units that used to all go in one box and now are split multiple ways. I also think one thing that I would never in the past have ever recommended anyone to do, I want to just throw it out there as an option. If it's going to cost you $80 to ship your items inbound to Amazon, and you know that the Prep Center can do it for you for half of that, that's $40. And you're sourcing in the stores, which we still don't necessarily think is a good idea, especially now. It kind of makes it a little worse. If you're inbounding your items yourself, you're going to pay twice as much for shipping. If you can pay $10 or $12 and ship that box to the Prep Center, ground UPS, you're still going to be ahead of the game. So again, your business, you figure it out, you'll work through it. We're here to help and support you, but just don't be surprised. The more you send to Amazon, the more screwed up these plans are going to seem to be. It's nothing you're doing wrong. It's just the way Amazon wants their business to be. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk with you about. The other thing that I want to talk with you about is a new metric that Amazon is implementing. And let me show you what this looks like, because it's very, very important to understand it. Amazon is now talking about velocity in a way that it never has before. And what Amazon is doing is they're basing everything on your seller performance. And your seller performance is you can note how your seller performance is by your IPI score. Your IPI score. So you go to your Amazon account, right on the dashboard, right in the middle of the page, it'll tell you your IPI score. The higher it is, the better. Just like your credit report. The higher it is, the better. So what is your IPI score? Check it out. Take a look at it. See where you're at. The higher your score, the better your chance of getting ungated. The higher your score, the better your chance of winning the buy box. My IPI score is 897. Just use that as a reference point. Okay? That's my IPI score. I don't know what yours is. Maybe it's 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. The IPI score has a lot to do with how fast your inventory turns. So if your inventory is not selling fast and it's sitting at Amazon, your score goes down. But what Amazon has done is they've completely relooked at, and evolved the IPI score and added in some additional metrics. Now, what I'm about to share with you in terms of lowering your metrics, please understand, does not apply to any Amazon seller who's in their first full year. So these are things that kick in after 365 days of you having your Amazon seller account. So for those of you that are new, don't be worried about this. This is just what's coming in your future. So when you take a look at what Amazon has in place, they're now saying they need you to send inventory to Amazon for 30 to 45 days worth of inventory. If you send items in that sell within 30 to enough quantity that sell within 30 to 45 days, your metrics are going to go up. If you are not in that range, your metrics are affected. So let's just say that you sell out all of your inventory in 1 to 20 days. I'll just use that number. Your IPI score goes down. It goes down because to Amazon, you have not sent in enough inventory to accurately get that inventory displaced to the buyers. Now, this also applies to the brands that are selling on Amazon, a little bit more so, a little bit more heavily weighted than to a retail arbitrage as sourcing as an example. But if your items sell out too fast, that's going to be a challenge for you. It's a very tough measuring stick. If your items are between 46 and 180 days, you're going to incur storage fees. They've raised the storage fees, and your IPI score is going to go down again. If your items are in your account 81 to 365 days, you're going to go down significantly. And in addition to all of that, your fees are going to go up. Then from there, you're going to have to remove your items, to which Amazon is going to charge you for the removal fees. So I'm walking you through all of this because the closer you can manage the metrics that Spy Rivals offers in terms of your monthly estimated buys, the closer you'll be to optimizing this process. Now, we're working on a third number that is going to be based on Amazon's suggestions. Amazon suggestions are not right. They're not accurate. You never want to go with what Amazon says, but we're going to create a formula that we're already working on it and release it so that we can put in place another number. So your monthly estimated buys, and then the real suggested number that's optimized in that 30 to 45 day formula. Now, I need you to understand something. This is huge because I think that there's a lot of, particularly new people, that don't necessarily understand this. I've read about this on some of the posts recently in the Facebook group, and that is, I sent my items into Amazon, and now the price has dropped, and I can't be competitive. Well, you need to understand how the business works. Your price, you can't control your competitors. The price will always change. Let's say that I'm selling something, a video game, and I've got 20 units of that video game, and I bought it for $10, and I'm selling it for $19.99. Okay. In fact, here, let me just show you. Let's do this together. I love using this whiteboard. So let's do this together. So let's say that I buy the item for $10. Okay, and I'm going to sell the item for $20. This is my purchase, my price, and I have 20 units. And when I buy the items, my competitor price is $20, so I'm right in the game. Okay, now let's just say you have a competitor that has 100 units. This is your competitor here. If that competitor has 100 units, and they want to blow out their inventory, well, that's their choice. So they may drop the price to $12 to get rid of their excess inventory, just like you might drop your price to get rid of your excess inventory. No one should have excess inventory. Here's what I want you to understand. If you have excess inventory, it's going to lower your metrics. If you have excess inventory, it's going to lower your IPI score. If you have excess inventory, it's going to cost you money because your items aren't turning and you're not getting the money back to then reinvest in other inventory. All retailers, which is what we are, we're just doing it on Amazon, put items on sale. Look, you're buying the items on sale. Well, now you're the retailer, so you need to put things on sale. You probably heard me mention this before. My mom owned a clothing store, actually 2 locations. When I was growing up, she had her own boutique with her own line of clothes. And at the end of every season, she blew out all the inventory that didn't sell at 70 and 80 and 90% off. Some of it she took a loss, but you have to take the loss to then recoup the money to then find the good. It is okay to do that. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It's just part of the process. The market demands change. The pricing changes. So if that particular retailer with 100 units wants to lower their price, that's the way it works. But guess what? When they sell out, the price goes back up. Some people are going to sell it for more than you. Some people are going to sell it for less than you. The only way to work around this is with the repricer. You can't manually keep up anymore. It isn't possible. I mean, the repricer will go in every minute and look at the pricing and adjust you up and down accordingly. You say, well, I don't want to sell it for less than I paid for it. Well, then don't. I don't want to sell it for a loss. Well, then don't. You need to do whatever works for you. At the end of the day, one of the things you need to understand is that Amazon is a demand-driven marketplace. It's not a price-driven marketplace. There are some times when we lower the price all the way down and it still doesn't sell. That's because nobody wants it, no matter what the price is. But if a competitor lowers the price, the question is, do you want to blow out that inventory? Now, let's just say for a moment on these video games that the competitor lowered their price to $12. So if you compete with that $12 seller, you're going to lose $2 on every unit. $2. You're going to get $8 back on your $12 sale, and you're going to lose $2 on if you sold all of your video games at a loss, you're going to lose a total of $40. And I get it. No one wants to lose $40. I completely understand that. You can't fill up your car with gas for $40 these days, but nobody wants to lose $40. So the first thing I want to remind you of is that that's a tax deduction. If you lose money, you buy it and sell it for less than you paid for it, that's a tax deduction. But more importantly, what you get back is $8 times 20 units or $160 to go buy better inventory. And that's the whole key, because the more your items turn, the faster you get a return. 20 units sitting at Amazon that aren't selling not only doesn't get you your money back, but it also starts to incur you long-term fees and negatively affect your account. Now, again, this is for sellers who've been doing this for more than 365 days. So if you've only been in for a week and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's okay. Don't worry. We got 11 and a half more months to get you up to speed. But there's so much going on. And I share this with you because it gives me such an incredible confidence in what we do, an appreciation for the coaching team that we have, an appreciation for Corinne, an appreciation for our entire support team, because we are sharing with you information that is not just the most current and the most relevant information, but we're including our technology that takes advantage in such a positive way of all of this. We are ahead of the curve in every way. There is nothing else on the market that does anything like what we do. And so for all of you that are here and part of this, it's just an incredible experience. And so I'm just grateful that you're making the choice and the decision to be here and to be part of it. Now, that's what I wanted to share with you today on that topic, that very, very important topic. I want to talk with you about a couple of other things. The next thing I want to talk with you about is InternetMastery.live in Miami. And there, I did it again. InternetMastery.live in Las Vegas on August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So if you have your ticket, awesome. If you don't have your ticket, you need to get one. I am more convinced than ever that this event coming up in August is going to be a complete game changer. First of all, I'm not going to be sharing with you the new update technology release, the grand, whatever it is, excitement of what's going to be happening in Las Vegas. But what we have on the drawing board to release is unlike anything we've ever released before. And I don't even know if we can get it done by August, but we're actively and aggressively working on it. So I'll just leave that with you there. But between the networking, between the information, between the team building, and between the ASD trade show that comes the day after. Remember, we're going to do a trade show walkthrough for all of our Inner Circle members. You got to get your ticket. So just in an effort to help some people get their ticket, we've never done this before. First time ever, I put together a 4-payment plan. So you could either pay $299 for your ticket, or if you prefer to pay $85 a month for 4 months, it works out to be $340. You just pay for it over 4 months and you get your ticket. We're only going to have that available for a few more days, because in a few more days from now, it's going to be too late to complete all 4 payments before the event in August. But I want to try to help as many people offset some of the pricing of their ticket, if that's possible for you to do that. So get your ticket. I cannot emphasize it enough. Now, again, just so you understand my logic and my way of thinking, when you buy a ticket to Las Vegas, or you don't buy a ticket to Las Vegas, it does not change my life. It only changes yours. This event will be a game changer. There's no question about it. All of our events are great. This one in particular is going to be the biggest and the best event we've ever had. So the announcement that I wanted to make today is a little bit anticlimactic, because I can't actually give you what I wanted to give you. I really wanted to give you this, but I can't. But I will later today. How about that? So if you're watching it on recording, this might already be available. But what we've done is we've finalized our hotel for the event. And I want to cautiously make a suggestion to you, and that is wait until the room block link comes out later today before you reserve your room. The event's August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So the room block will start the night before. You can always come in either a little bit early or and stay a little bit later at that hotel. But the venue for the event is going to be at the Palms Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, just slightly off the strip, but it's going to be at the Palms Resort Hotel and Casino. They've redone the hotel recently. It's just freaking awesome. I was just there. I did a site tour, and it's amazing. Our event is going to take place, I forget, 2nd, 3rd, 4th floor, and then we have a VIP dinner that's going to take place on like the 54th floor, and it's all glass, all windows, all around. The views, the photo ops are spectacular. And here's the best part. Last year, we stayed at the Renaissance. The Renaissance, on average, was $189 a night for all 3 nights. What I've done this year is negotiated. I don't know how it worked out, but every once in a while, the negotiation works. So the first night, $95. The second night, $95. The third night is $179 because it's the Friday night of a weekend. But if you take the 3, $179, $279, $379, $369, and divide that up, it works out to be $119-ish, plus tax obviously, a night. There is no reason to stay anywhere else during this event. Number one, you're going to get awesome pricing. Number two, you're going to be at the host hotel. And one of the things that, this past week when we were in Las Vegas, I stayed at the Fontainebleau, and the event was at the Mirage. And it's about a, 8-minute, 9-minute drive, $16 to $18 for a taxi, each way. So when you factor in your transportation to and from, having to be there early, get back late, stuck in traffic, just stay at the host hotel if you want to get the most out of the event. What I was hoping to be able to do was give you the room block link now. I can't do that because I just got off with the hotel and they won't have the room block link until later this afternoon. Now, they've promised me we would have the link later today. If not, good news for me, they're going to buy me a hot chocolate at the event. So I'm convinced they don't want to buy me a hot chocolate. I'm convinced that we will have that link later today. So I will send you the link. Now, that's the really exciting news. The less exciting news is we only have 40 rooms in our room block. Now, I'm hopeful that those 40 rooms, because we have more than 100 people registered, I hope, and we have 5 months to go, I'm hoping that those 40 rooms fill up really fast so we can add to the room block. But just like anything else, when a hotel gets full, the price goes up. So we have 40 rooms locked in. However, once the room block gets full, the sooner it gets full, the faster I can go in and request more rooms. So if you try to reserve your room and it says room block full, you let us know and I'll go back in and renegotiate the contract. There's no guarantee I can get the same rates because it's based on the availability inside of the hotel. But this event at this hotel will be talked about for years to come. It's going to be a catalyst for some amazing opportunities as we are moving forward in 2025 and beyond. My overall big thinking number is we'll have about 200 people in attendance. Won't be our biggest conference I've ever held, but it'll be our biggest InternetMastery.live we've held. So we'll see how close we get to that. We've had a lot of people sign up this week, which is fantastic. So I'm excited to meet many of our newest members that are coming that have never been to an in-person event before. And I know that for some of you, you're like, well, I just started a few weeks ago. Should I really do this? And the answer is yes. Lock in your ticket, make your commitment, get your airfare now. Remember that this is ASD week. So April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is our event. The 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is ASD, the best trade show in the country for new Amazon sellers to be able to buy wholesale and expand your business into wholesale. 40,000 people come into Las Vegas starting on the weekend for the trade show. So the hotels fill up, the rooms fill up, the flights fill up, and the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you to go. Once you've locked in your ticket, once you've locked in your travel, once you've locked in your hotel, you now have something to work for, to work towards, and something to really be excited about. So let me just stop here. I want to see if anybody has any questions for me. You can ask me questions about the things I've talked about. You can ask me questions about the event, or you can ask me questions on any topic you would like me to share with you about. So thank you so much for being here. That's all I wanted to share with you. You guys are awesome. All right, let's see what the questions are. I'm going to come back up here to the top. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Lots of good mornings to all of you, by the way. Thank you very much for saying hi. Let's see. So check this out. I changed my workout routine, and I changed my supplement routine, and I've gained 6 pounds in the last 6 days. I don't know what's going on. It's the weirdest thing. I started taking some, mixing up my supplement combinations so that I could trim a little body fat, and I'm up 6 pounds. I have no reason to tell you that other than I got the camera and there's not a question for me to answer, so I'm just sharing that with you. For those of you that were with me in Miami, either in person or virtually, you heard that we launched our new brand called called Board Nutrition, and it's our new supplement line. And we just today launched the 4th supplement in 4 weeks, and we have 6 more being launched by May 1st. So we're going to take a brand that on February 1st didn't exist, and by May 1st have 10 unique products in that brand. And the goal is to do $1 million in sales in that brand in the first 12 months. And so if that's something that interests you or excites you, that's going to be a topic for conversation in Las Vegas. Also, I believe we only have 1 or 2 tickets left for the AI event in May in Boca. Can't wait for that. Can't wait to meet some of you for the first time there. It's going to be that event. I'm just telling you, that event in Boca, the first night of the event, you will not be able to sleep. You will not be able to contain yourself. And when you leave that event, you're going to come away with a completely changed view of the world. It's going to be life-changing. I'm just going to leave it at that. unbelievable what's going to be covered at the AI event in Boca. It's not a writer AI event. We'll talk a little bit about writer stuff, but it's just going to be all about AI and how it is the next level of opportunity. So let's take a look and see if there's any questions. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here and here and here. So let's see. Prep center. My IPI score says there's insufficient historical data. That just means you're new. That's all, or you're not sending inventory to Amazon. Excellent. All right, let's see. Can't wait for Vegas. To increase the IPI score, if we're completely sold out and can't get any more of a product, should we delete it from Amazon? Makes no difference. You can delete it or not delete it. It doesn't matter. Your IPI score is not based on what you don't have. Your IPI score is based on either selling it too fast, amongst other things, or not selling it fast enough. Okay, good question. Thank you. If I only have a few hours to visit the trade show, should that be enough? Of course not. There's no way. But it's better to be there for a few hours than not be there at all, 100% on that. But you're not going to get anything done. You're going to be very overwhelmed. You're going to be completely confused and lost. I'm just telling you how it is. And then you'll know enough and see enough that when we go back next March, you're going to want to be there too. So that's my answer. So good question there. Let's see. I didn't eat it. So somebody said it's all the pasta in Vegas. Actually, thank you for that. I don't eat a lot of pasta, but it's not that. So I track now everything I do on a daily basis, and every single day I've been gaining 1 pound. I'm 1 pound heavier in the morning than I was the day before. I'm 1 pound heavier at night than I was the day before. And here's the thing. The pasta's still not in me from a week ago. If it was, I probably wouldn't be as happy as I am. So, the pasta's gone from last week. Even if we had some pasta, it's gone. So I don't know what's happening, but it must be all my new supplements I'm taking that I created. I'm my own crash test dummy. So it's working. It's working. So anyway, it's working. All right, let's see. Will I need the 4 AI tools before the Boca event? No. You can get the tools at the Boca event. You don't have to get the tools. There's never a requirement to have any of the tools. You'll just decide whether you need them or not. So if you want them so that you can use them and play around with them and then come to the event with questions, we're going to have plenty of time for questions. That's a great idea. The Lister AI in particular is, in my opinion, the most important of the 4. If you all don't have the AI tools and you don't have the Lister AI, you're missing out on a huge opportunity, but that it's not required. No. Let's see. Next question is regarding the IPI scoring. Since I started my account 8 years, but since it had it deactivated and then reactivated in January, am I considered new to Amazon? You are not considered new. I mean, think about the answer to your question. New is 365 days from the day you opened your account. If you opened your account 8 years ago, you're not new. That's all I can think of anyway. Maybe there's a different take on it, but you're definitely not new. No, not at all. All right, let's see. How I want to change the price and the product I've already listed. So you have 2 options to change your price. Number 1, you can go into your Amazon account and just update the price. That's how everybody does it. If you're utilizing the repricer, then you'd set your minimum and your maximum price in the repricer and then just let the repricer do its work. It is impossible these days to change your price fast enough to accommodate all of the price changes that are happening on Amazon. It's so funny because the other day, like 2-3 days ago, we had somebody, they've been with us for like 3 or 4 months, and they said to me that it always seems like I'm trying to sell you the tools, the new tools, the subscription tools, and all of that kind of good stuff. And here's what I want you to understand. We build the tools. We invest the money in the tools. I use the tools. If I didn't use the tools, I wouldn't invest the money in the tools. So everything we build, I want for me, not for you. I love you all, but I'm not building it for you. Now, it is my responsibility to tell you how it works and how those tools are. If you are internalizing and saying, well, geez, Adam's always wanting me to get a reprice or get this or get that, then just think about it differently and say, what are the most successful people doing that I'm not doing? What's happening why I'm not getting the results that other people are getting? Well, maybe they're doing things differently than how you're doing them. And again, understand the goal here, right? So you sign up for the repricer and you pay me $69 a month, right? That's easy. The math is really simple. You're paying me $2.30 a day for the repricer. And the repricer makes you an extra $500,000, $800,000 a month or more. So why would you be mad at me for selling it to you when I get $69 and you get an extra $800? In other words, for anything that we offer you, it's all optional. None of it's required. The prep center is not required. The repricer is not required. Bolo search is not required. None of it's required. It's all optional for you on how you want to run your business. So how you see it, how you internalize it, and how you process it makes a big difference. But remember this, just always remember this. Whenever you're investing in a business, you're not spending money because I'm asking you to spend money. You are investing in your business. And as long as you get back more than you put in, you should put it in. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen right away. When you make an investment, you go in the hole. Some investments take 3 weeks to get the money back. Some investments take 3 months. Look, when you buy a home, you're not expecting that home to appreciate 10 or 15% in the next 2 weeks. It's a time frame. It's a process. This is a business. And the single biggest challenge that people have is correlating what they're doing and switching from saying I'm an Amazon seller to I'm a business owner running an e-commerce Amazon business. And if you can make that switch, it's tough. I know for some people, especially when you're new, it's tough because it feels like you're always putting money out. But you've never really run a business before, or you would already know that that's how business works, right? So again, take anything that I tell you as just advice. I am not emotionally connected to you and your results. So if you want to take my advice, if you want to take little bits of my advice, you will not hurt my feelings at all, as long as you are respectful to me in our communications. We're going to get along just fine. All right, let's see where we're at. Next question. Why can't multiple items ship to Amazon in one box to save on shipping? Who said they can? That isn't the issue. The issue isn't about multiple items. It's not a crazy question. The issue isn't about multiple items going to Amazon in the same box to save on shipping. The issue is how the items arrive. So let's just say for a moment that you do the following. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so let's do this. Let's come over here and show you this. So let's say that you buy 5 items from Best Buy. You buy 5 items from Macy's, and you buy 5 items from Target. And you put all of these on one plan. Okay? Let's just say you put all of them on one plan so you can save the shipping. Well, let's just say the ones from Best Buy arrive today. The one from Macy's arrives next Tuesday. And the ones from Target arrive in 2 weeks. So what you're wanting to do is have all your items sit at the prep center until everything arrives. This is almost impossible for us to track. And it would be nearly impossible for you to make money because you're not making any money on this one or this one because you're just simply waiting for this one to come in. It's very different when you are doing the items in your home versus if you're doing them in the prep center. So hopefully someday you get to come to the prep center and come to our corporate office and see the flow, because then I think you'll appreciate the process just a little bit more. Now, when somebody's buying wholesale and they're buying it on a pallet, and like Najwa does or Claudia does, and all of those things show up to the prep center on the same pallet, well, all of those things go on the same plan. They don't need to be on different plans because they're all showing up at the same time. That's a no-brainer. But on the retail arbitrage side, it is a complete pain in the ass. So that's the reason that we recommend you do it that way. It's just a recommendation. It isn't a requirement. But now, just so you know what we do, if you put all 3 items on the same plan and only 5 show up, we split your plan anyway. So it just doesn't, it's not a good use of your time. Okay, good question. Let's see what the next question is. Do I need a trademark because any product I say I'm not authorized to sell? No, you don't need a trademark. Nope. You need to look for items that you can sell. When you're new, I mean, you need what you need to do is you need to watch the video on how to get ungated in the e-library. That's what you really need to know. You'll find that in the 50 videos in the e-library, the word trademark doesn't come up once. And so if you understand that when you're new and your seller performance has not been, increased based on your historical results, everything is going to feel like you can't be approved. The only way to be approved for items that are restricted when Amazon asks for invoices is if you're buying wholesale. And if you don't have $3,000 or $4,000 to invest in the wholesale side of the business and you don't have the wholesale analyzer tool, then you should only be buying retail. I mean, John and Tanner, who were in Las Vegas with us last week, have sold $1.1 million on Amazon in the last 3 years, all from retail arbitrage. $1.1 million. They're human, by the way. They bleed just like everybody else does. They go through a lot of opportunities before they find the good ones. So you just need to keep going through the process. Trademark, how can you get a trademark on a product that's not yours anyway? So just go through the process, watch the video on getting ungated. Remember what I told you at the summit. Make sure you're applying in the categories of the items you can sell, and try to avoid major brands that you can't sell anyway. Okay, so very good question. Thank you very, very much. Woo, this has been a powerhouse session, folks. This has been a good one. I want to make sure that I'm getting all the questions answered. Once again, I think what happens is we have lots of people who post questions throughout the week and then don't make it to the Friday. And so, Corinne ends up answering the same questions over and over and over again. Even this week, lots and lots of the same questions. So if you do a little bit of research in the Facebook group, a little bit of research in the e-library, it will help you to be maybe less frustrated not to be able to get your answer. Congratulations, by the way, to everyone who's posted their results. Thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you very much for everyone who's posted us a 5-star review through the review system. We appreciate that very much. We're on our way. Folks, we're on our way to $1 billion. And you need to understand something. Not only are you in the right place at the right time with the right people doing the right thing, but this community with these tools and this support gives you a strategic advantage over anyone selling on Amazon on their own. Anyone, hands down. I would put this community and this technology and this support up against any other Amazon whatever on the planet. It is extraordinary. And the opportunities that you have in this business are unprecedented. Whether you're brand new and you just sent your first item in, or you haven't been able to find an item to sell, remember that everyone starts at zero. And the only difference between the people over here and the people who are over here is the time and effort that they put into the business. We have some people that try it for 3 or 4 weeks and then give up. They quit. They do. What? We can't help them. That's like having a baby who doesn't walk after a month and giving it back. Let me just put that back in my stomach till it can walk. Babies don't walk in a month, and neither do business owners who've never run a business before. People say, well, you talk about mindset a lot. When I interviewed 6 or 7 people in Miami a few weeks ago, the number one thing every single one of them talked about was about their mindset. They didn't talk about their inventory. They didn't talk about their shipping. They talked about how they think about this business. So when you understand the objectives and the goals and the outcome, you guys are awesome. But get your ticket to come to Las Vegas in August, because that will literally change everything for you. So it looks like, did I hear at one time that you can make money by referring people to? Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, we have a promoter program. In the upper right-hand corner of your Internet Mastery community, you click on the little avatar, and there's a program, there's a link drop down called Promoter. You sign up, you get your link, you share it with people, and you make some extra cash. By the way, we had somebody this week say, I never told you that the Prep Center address changed. Okay, we know that's not accurate. However, I have good news. If you have the mobile app, the Prep Center address has been updated. If you log out and log in and don't see the new Prep Center, the current Prep Center address, then you might need to update your app. But that has been updated and changed and officially released. It was a long process to get Apple to do that, but they did that as well. So awesome. Any final questions? I'll give you like 60 more seconds to see if anybody has any questions. You guys are amazing. Just awesome. So I'm super excited that you're here with me on this great Friday, beautiful day outside. And I think that's it. So thank you very much for being here. I will look forward to seeing you next week. Get your tickets to Las Vegas. And later on today, I will get the link out to everyone to reserve your sleeping rooms at that super discounted price. You can book, by the way, if you want to come in early and stay late. You can also do that from that same link. But we did the room block on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because those are the dates of the event itself. So have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day. Let's get your items into the Prep Center so you can save a bunch of money. Yep, I said it. And I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much. Bye.